What's going on, y'all? Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you'd like to donate to the channel, the cash app's at the top right corner of the video. Well, let's get into it, man. Because there's current events that are happening now that make me look back at the beef and what transpired in regards to the beef, specifically regarding Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift's name has been brought up in this beef on quite a few occasions, more times than you could actually remember. Now, it all started back when Drake started the beef when he released the song Push Ups. Now, Push Ups is the first song that Drake had released in regards to dissing Kendrick Lamar by name. Now, Push Ups was released back in April 19th, 2024, at the very beginning of the beef. This is a song that he had shared in regards to dissing Kendrick Lamar. What's interesting about this song right here is that he name drops Taylor Swift. Now, there's a reason why Drake brings up Taylor Swift in the first place. This is what he said in the verse. You better do the MF show inside the biddy. Maroon 5 need a verse. You better make it witty. Then we need a verse for the Swifties. Drake clowns Kendrick Lamar for catering to the mainstream by making reference to his features on Bad Blood Remix and Don't Wanna Know by mainstream pop acts Taylor Swift and Maroon 5, respectively. Swifties is the nickname of the former fan base. So this was him dissing Kendrick Lamar for doing music with artists like Taylor Swift and Maroon 5. Drake praised Swift's status in the music industry a while back on Red Button from his 2023 release For All the Dogs Scary Hours edition when he rapped, Taylor Swift, the only person that I ever rated, only one that could make me drop the album just a little later, meaning that Drake has to take into consideration when he needs to drop his album, whenever Taylor Swift is about to drop her album, or whenever she's about to drop something on her end. She's the only person that could make Drake hesitant, is what he's saying in the song and what he thinks about Taylor Swift in general. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because Taylor Swift will perform 6 sold out shows at the Rogers Center starting on Thursday in Toronto. Toronto is expected to see an economic boost to the tune of nearly $300 million thanks to Taylor Swift's upcoming Eras Tour, which will be making a stop in Canada's largest city for a 6-show run later this month. In direct spending alone, Destination Toronto President Andrew Ware said recent estimates during the tour will bring in about $150 million. That's new money coming into our economy. So that money continues to circulate and recirculate, he added. You spend $100 at a restaurant, the restaurant then goes to respend that same money on labor, on ingredients, on a graphic design firm to redesign their menus, all sorts of things. So that's what we call indirect and induced benefits of spending. When adding it all up, we're set the amount's about $280 million for the city. Now, granted, she's literally going to feed the entire economy of Toronto by boosting up everything in their city by $300 million because of her 6 sold out shows. She basically fed the streets of Toronto nearly the same amount of money that Drake makes on a Universal deal, which is crazy if you think about it, how Drake is signed for $400 million with UMG, one of the biggest deals in history. But Taylor Swift could come into your city and feed your whole economy with nearly the amount of money that Drake was signed for. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because Drake was the one to bring up Taylor Swift. Not only was it to diss him with the AI and the Tupac and the Snoop Dogg AI, which I didn't like at all, but he also brought up Taylor Swift in the song. He says here, yeah, shout out Taylor Swift, biggest gangster in the music game right now. You know, I moved my album when she dropped. I said that already when he was talking about Push Ups or when he's talking about Scary Hours. Says Taylor Swift is almost universally considered the most commercially successful music artist in the 2010s. This is why Drake calls her the biggest gangster in music industry, even admitting to fearing her a bit on Red Button. Taylor Swift is the only person that I ever rated. Only one could ever make me drop an album just a little later, Rest of y'all, I treat y'all like you never made it. Now, granted, Drake is bigging up Taylor Swift, the most successful artist, the most successful commercial artist that there is since the 2010s. But in the same light as he's doing this, he's dissing Kendrick Lamar by mentioning Taylor Swift. One, by saying that you claim to be the savior of rap, but you do songs like Bad Blood with Taylor Swift. And two, he's implying that nobody is above him, and the only person that he ever is worried about is Taylor Swift. Basically hinting towards the fact that if I know that I feel this way, I know others like Kendrick Lamar feel this way as well. Not only is Drake mentioning how big of a gangster Taylor Swift is in the music industry, he also uses it to diss Kendrick Lamar when he says, you know, she about to Millie run through a Millie rock on your head top, when he's talking about the Dead Poet Society going to sell about 2 million in first week sales. She got the whole PG Lang on mute, like that Beyonce challenge. Y'all boys quiet for like a weekend. Drake is comparing this to Kendrick's response time to his diss track Push-Ups. It seems that when Drake released his track, Kendrick and team went on mute. Ironically, this is likely also a reference to the incident where Kendrick came out as a surprise guest for one of Beyonce's shows, but was inaudible due to his mic malfunctioning. When I first heard this, it made me feel like Drake was trying to imply that they're just as intimidated of Taylor Swift as he is admitting himself. However, I don't think that's the case at all. Because if you know, after this beef had transpired, 616 in LA was released. And if you don't know, 616 in LA was produced by Soundwave and Jack Antonoff. Jack Antonoff is a person who also produces for Taylor Swift. Many publications noted producer Jack Antonoff's involvement, believing it to be retaliation to Drake's tailor-made freestyle, as Antonoff has been a consistent producer for Taylor Swift as well. So this was a subtle way to let the fans know, the people know, that Kendrick Lamar isn't intimidated by Taylor Swift. In fact, he does respect Taylor Swift as an artist and the collaborators that she works with, and showing signs of respect by getting one of her producers to help him with the 616 in LA track. This might have been a tactical way of letting Drake know that I understand that this is my response to tailor-made freestyle, as well as letting you know that I picked up on the Taylor Swift jabs, but I'm not amused by them. I'm not threatened by them. And I'm still cool with her, obviously, because I'm using her producer as well. But him saying that she got PG Lang on mute, that Taylor Swift got PG Lang on mute, I think was a little bit of self-projection. I think he was really just referring to himself. Because like I said, if Kendrick Lamar got her producer on one of the diss songs, I think it was a way for him to let the people know, like, I don't have a problem with Taylor Swift or the people that she works with or anybody on their team. This is just Drake self-projecting how he feels about Taylor Swift and how intimidated that he feels about Taylor Swift when she drops music around the time that Drake wants to drop music. Saying that he has to postpone or think about it when Taylor Swift drops clearly just means that he has his own thoughts on how he feels about Taylor Swift himself. Just to get a better understanding, based on ticket sales alone, Taylor Swift grosses approximately 13 million or more per show before taxes and expenses, according to Bloomberg. Swift additionally earns roughly 2 million in merchandise as well per concert. So you do the math. I think they said it was like a 6-day tour in Toronto. So what's 13 million times 6? Y'all tell me how much that is in the comments, bro. And that's how much she makes in 6 days, bro. Just think about that. In 6 shows. While Drake is signed to 400 million by UMG, she's putting 300 million in Toronto's economy and probably make it around 78 million or round off to 100 million in a show if you're including the merchandise. But this is still a lot of money just for a show, not even your deal, not even what you signed for. I could only imagine if she is signed, how much she really is signed for. I'm pretty sure it's double what Drake signed for. I think this was a little bit of self-projection when it came to his thoughts on Taylor Swift, talking about how he has to push projects or think about pushing projects if Taylor's going to drop, and saying how she has PG Lang on mute because he wanted a response so bad. He just randomly just started bringing up Taylor Swift's name, which I thought was crazy. But now I'm thinking about it, it probably was just self-projection the whole time because Kendrick didn't even mention Taylor Swift at all. But he did get hurt. But he did get her producer to produce 616 in LA with Soundwave. So I think that was his way of paying homage and paying respect to Taylor Swift. But yeah, man, I think honestly this was just a perfect example of how you could think one artist is super successful. There's an artist right above them making twice what they make. It's crazy how Taylor Swift makes as much money as she does as an entertainer. We're here talking about rap. These pop artists are the ones that are making real dough at the end of the day. But what do y'all think about this? I just wanted to bring this up because it just reminded me of the beef. Drake talking about Taylor Swift in the beginning of the beef. Now in the future, Taylor Swift is going to Toronto and bringing in a whole bunch of money for the city, feeding Toronto, feeding the streets of Toronto, giving it an economical boost is crazy. She really runs that block. I'm not even going to hold you, bro. But y'all tell me how y'all feel in the comments, bro. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video, man. Peace. Keep it alleged.